Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Hogan's Heroes. Now, I have been enjoying lately making these videos on the incredible secret identity of the secret agent Nimrod. Now, I made previous videos on Nimrod before and who he or she could possibly be. You should go check those out. I've covered Colonel KLINK. I've even covered General Burkhalter's sister Gertrude. So go and take a look at that video because I think it is very interesting and a good possibility that, hey, maybe that's Nimrod. But in this video, we're going to consider someone who many of you put in the comments below when I made my previous videos, and that is, of course, Sergeant Shultz. Now, everyone who loves Hogan's Heroes pretty much loves Sergeant Shultz. He is the bad guy that everyone loves to love because he is fun, and of course he's a little ditzy, and he's just really enjoyable to look at him. And I'm going to look at the very real possibility that Sergeant Shultz is most likely Nimrod. Now, who is Nimrod? Let me orient you to what I'm even talking about, because this is important to understand Hogan's Heroes, but most importantly, this video unto itself. You maybe have seen the episode The Missing Clink. Now, this is from season 4, it's episode 15, and it's a funny one all unto itself. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this episode. Now, in this one, Hogan wants to kidnap General Burkhalter and wants to trade him in for a captured underground agent. What instead happens is that the underground kidnaps the wrong man, that is Colonel KLINK, and now he is missing, and now he is the hostage, and they decide to exchange him for that underground agent. Now, what is interesting in this episode is that Major Hochstetter makes an appearance, as well as, of course, General Burkhalter, and they're trying to secure the release of KLINK. And then we have the interesting topic of Nimrod. They spell out several things about Nimrod and who he can be, but throughout the entire series, this character, this person who quote-unquote is codenamed Nimrod, was never revealed. Now, number one, Nimrod was the finest intelligence man that the Allies have. He constantly, well, I'm saying he, but it never said that it's a he. Now, this individual, Nimrod, was pretty much, as I said, the best one that the Allies have. The Germans are actually giving a $4 million reward for his capture. That is, of course, in the 1940s. Now, this individual operated behind the German lines. And as the episode continues on, we realize that this German individual is actually a British agent. And so that's very important to notice. So this was someone co-opted as a German by the British. Now, what happens at the end of the episode, we find out that the heroes are the ones who trick Hochstetter and Burkhalter into thinking that KLINK was Nimrod. And then at the end, they find out that the secret plans they're talking about are actually plans to make this little model Hindenburg. And when the heroes go in, start building this little model, they find out that there are real secret plans for a secret German plane and a note left by the actual Nimrod. And it was hidden in there. So this means that Nimrod has access to KLINK's office and most likely was there during the course of the episode at some point. So it is a German who has access to Stalag 13. Now, Shultz is the sergeant of the guard there at Stalag 13. He has access to both the German side, that is Colonel KLINK, Burkhalter, Hochstetter, all those higher ups, but he also has a lot of access to the prisoners. He definitely has access to KLINK's office, which is very important, especially for that last scene where those secret plans were left. Basically, if Shultz was the secret agent, he'd have no problem placing those secret plans there. Now, let's look at a couple motives why Shultz would do this. First of all, you have to remember an episode that takes place. It's called War Takes a Holiday. Now, in that one, we get revealed something pretty drastic, and that is that Sergeant Shultz is actually the CEO or the owner of the Shotzi Toy Company. Now, let me tell you about this and how this connects. This company is a fictitious German toy company that is mentioned in this episode. Now, it was, according to the episode, the largest toy manufacturer in Germany, but now, because of the war effort, the equipment in it was being used to create materials for the German war effort. So what does this mean? Simply that Sergeant Shultz was conscripted into the war effort, and he was a capitalist. He was a businessman. He wants to make money. That was part of what he did. He made toys and he sold them for profit. He's making little to no profit now. In fact, he's only making a meager German wage, a German soldier wage, and he was really excited, he mentioned, to open back his company. Now, in fact, it was pretty funny because in that episode, KLINK wanted to even get on Shultz's side. He treated him really nice. He kind of spoiled him so that when he thought the war was over, that Shultz would give him a really high position in his company. So therefore, why wouldn't Shultz want to go to the quote-unquote British side, the Allied side, in order to accelerate the end of the war? It would make so much sense. Again, he is in the perfect position to have this espionage that he's doing and make the war go badly for the Germans so that everything can end and he can get back to his toy company. Secondly, I also want to mention Sergeant Shultz and his most famous phrase, and that is, of course, "I know nothing, nothing." Now, why is that important? What he is essentially saying, and what we understand as an audience that he's saying, he knows monkey business, as he says, is always going on. He's between a rock and a hard place. He can report these shenanigans that are going wrong, but why doesn't he report them? Because he can get in trouble because he wasn't doing his job, making sure that the Allies were kept in check. So he turns a blind eye to everything. That is very important to note as well, because if he were really on the German side, in essence, he would report it. But then again, he also doesn't want to get sent to the Russian front. Now, why would he? He wants to get back to his wife, his family, his toy company, and making those profits. So this really adds a lot of substance to the evidence that Sergeant Shultz is most likely Nimrod. I also want to mention two specific episodes where Shultz knows exactly 100% what is going on with Hogan and the heroes and what they're trying to do to basically mess up the German war effort. But what does he do? He turns a blind eye to it. The first one is from season 2, episode 1. Hogan gives a birthday party. It's a really hilarious episode. There's a German oil refinery that is protected and the Allies want to bomb it. So, of course, Hogan decides that the only way to fool the gunners is to use a German plane. So they actually fly this plane out of there. They take all the heroes on the plane. Hogan is flying the plane. They even take Shultz and they have to push him out. He gets really upset. He's like, "Hogan, what are you doing? I could get so in trouble for what's going on." He parachutes out of the plane with the heroes, and it's a hilarious episode, a hilarious scene, and he has an opportunity to say something, but he doesn't because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Or is it that he wants to hurt the German war effort and he's Nimrod and doesn't want to say anything? The other episode also comes from season 2. It's a two-parter, a tiger hunt in Paris. Now in this one, Hogan and LeBeau actually sneak into the top of KLINK's car and they run away with them to Paris. Shultz gets very, very upset with Hogan and LeBeau and says, "You can't go, you can't hide, you can't leave the camp like this. This is against the rules and regulations." But what happens, of course, Hogan uses his smarts and gets his way as always, and he and LeBeau sneak into Paris along with Shultz and KLINK in the car right below them. And of course, they head back into the camp the same way later when the two-part episode ends. And of course, Shultz says nothing. He does this many, many different times throughout the series. Why not? You could argue he doesn't want to get in trouble, or maybe he doesn't want to get in trouble. He wants to get back to his toy company, and of course he is Nimrod, wanting to speed up that war, the end of the war, of course, and wants the Allies to be victorious. I want to know your thoughts about this, guys and gals. Do you think this is the real identity of Nimrod? I love to hear this. I have more suspects that we can make more videos on, so let me know if you do want to see them. I have really, really interesting and creative ones that you will not want to miss. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. It's absolutely free, and it helps channels like myself to keep afloat. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone who supports me and my channel, especially through Patreon, where you could be listed on here. My awesome diamond tier patrons, Gary N, Sydney R, David D, and Ricky. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you back real soon. Links, playlists to my other 1,300 videos could be found in the description.